Right Honorable Yang Amat Penghormat Tuan Lim Guan Eng, the Chief Minister of Penang. Penang. Let us give him a very big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. And another big round of applause, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for Paramit Malaysia Sdn Berhad for this huge project, which is called Factory in the Forest.
With us. I also want to thank the Chief Minister, the Honorable Mr. Lim Guan Eng, and Mr. Balu Ratal, our CEO, for flying all the way from Morgan Hill to be with us.
Right Honorable Chief Minister of Penang, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It really is turned out to be a beautiful morning here.
Distinguished guests, Right Honourable Chief Minister, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here this morning, and I've got two things to hold, so if I move this away, I apologise in advance. Factory in the forest. Architects have a tremendous responsibility.
Good morning and salam bersih to everyone. First, let me welcome our foreign guests in the typical Malaysian and Penang manner. Selamat datang ke Pulau Pinang. It's a great pleasure for me to attend this groundbreaking ceremony for Paramit Malaysia Sdn Berhad. It's appropriately named Factory in the Forest. This is probably the first time I've seen a factory in the forest, and I would say it's very inspiring. And I'm looking forward to see John's architectural tour de force becoming a real reality. Let's give him a round of applause. I would like to also commend the company, especially Mr. Balu Ratal, for doing something different, doing something that we never expected. You know, when I first came here, I was wondering what forest in the factory. That sounds like an oxymoron. How can you have a forest in a factory? But I think after seeing what you had in mind, I think it may work. And the fact that you can inject soul back into the factory, I think it's something that would be, of course, as I mentioned earlier, very inspiring. It brings to mind during my schoolboy days, we were reading about the ancient wonders of the world. And one of the ancient wonders of the world is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So I would not know whether you have a hanging garden in the factory here. I'm sure we are looking forward to that. But definitely, if you are able to slow down our pace, slow down the beating of our hearts, I'm sure you're able to do a better job and be more productive. I think when you mentioned about having the forest to work in concert, it reminds me of the latest management. I wouldn't use the word the latest management craze, but what has been done, I think, in most companies internationally, using mindfulness. Using mindfulness as a technique, increase productivity amongst the staff. I'm sure this is a very innovative way to engender mindfulness. And of course, also a very important step towards building a resilient company. Now, when I look at the history of companies, I think the companies that stands out, or even the captains of industry that stand out, are not ones that are the most brilliant. Of course, it doesn't hurt to be the most brilliant, but always the ones that are the most resilient. And if you are both brilliant and resilient, of course, then you become world beaters, just like Steve Jobs. He's not only brilliant, but he's resilient. You can never put him down. He will always bounce back. And I believe that having a forest in the factory would also build resilience, because in good times you have no problems finding people around you, but it's always in bad times you know who your friends are. And I think resilience is probably an understated quality, that probably is not factored in many stock exchanges, but I would think that would be the difference between an ordinary company and a great company. So once again, on behalf of the government and people of Penang, I would like to extend our heartiest congratulations to Paramit for your business expansion in the state of Penang. I would just like to run through some of the key points about Paramit. Starting in 1973 has RUF, before it was acquired by Le Mans, and the name was changed to Electronics before being subsequently acquired by Paramit Corporation in 2011. So you have a long history, 45-year history. And I will see that seeing what Paramit has in mind in Penang is definitely in good hands. This latest investment of 60 million ringgit would also increase the current workforce of 500 to 800. And I'm sure we will envy anyone working here when the forest in the factory is completed. We are also pleased that Paramit is one of the world leading companies on innovative products on medical devices. Would also introduce their latest technology here in Penang. And we believe that Penang is the ideal location for companies or for cutting edge companies such as Paramit, because we have the wherewithal not only to make sure that this investment is profitable, but more important is for future expansion. There's no point going into a location if the avenues for future expansion is limited. And when I talk about future expansion, I'm not talking about the physical infrastructure. I'm focusing on software. Basically, for companies that want to move forward, technology companies that want to move forward, I'm talking about R&D, research and development. Because for companies like Paramit, medical devices company, there's no substitute for R&D. And to do R&D, you must have the available talent pool. You must have the entire ecosystem built around it that can give the necessary support, as well, of course, as the talent. And I think Penang has that. Not only through our 40 years of experience, or 45 years of experience with world-leading companies, but more importantly that over these last 45 years, we have built the capability, we have built the capacity, and of course, we have built the intelligence required for future expansion requirements for world-leading companies. And apart from Penang being an ideal location for investment and for industry, it's not all work and no play. We are also one of the leading tourist centers and entertainment cities in Malaysia. We have the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Georgetown, and I'm sure you already know that we have top schools, top private hospitals, and of course shopping to go with it, so that you can keep our wives occupied. And wives are very important, because in my experience for the last 7 years, if you can't convince the wife, you have lost the investment. If you can convince the wives will make sure that the investment comes here. So it is of course very important that Penang is a livable city, and we have been rated by ECA International as the most livable city in Malaysia. And if you go to Georgetown, you go to Penang or elsewhere, you will see why Penang is the most livable city in Malaysia. But I think more important than that is that you have a government, a state government that is attuned to your needs. I will not say that you have no problems in Penang, but what I can assure you is that if you have any problems, the state government will be right beside you to resolve these problems together. And this is what I'm sure any good government would promise. Not that there will be no problems, but we will be resolving it together. One final note before I end my speech is that I was struck just now by what Thomas mentioned about industrial park. actually is again another misnomer or an oxymoron again. How can an industrial site be also called an industrial park? It doesn't make sense. But I think following for what Paramit is doing, we will think of doing a park in the Batu Kawan site. So at least there would be something that would be well commensurate or aligned together with this facility. Not here, but in the vicinity. And you will have not only probably a hanging forest in Batu Kawan, but also a proper park in an industrial park. I won't talk about the details here because we want all the focus to be on Paramit. But once again, congratulations for choosing Penang, and I will be looking forward when this facility is finished next year. And John, perhaps we can contribute to our proposed park. I'll get the developer to look for you. Of course, you'll be asking for a discount sometimes. Typical Penang fashion. Anyway, thanks again. Welcome, and I'm sure you have a very productive stay. Thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, and that's the remark of the groundbreaking ceremony brought to you by Paramit Malaysia. Let us give a very big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
It's about 160,000 square feet. Is that 16,000 meters?
4 acres. 4 acres. 4 acres.
Yes.
Built up.
Yeah.
Yeah, next question, please.
Where are your markets in Asia?
We do most of our markets in Asia. What, Singapore? Singapore, maybe?
I think currently you're talking about our customers, I imagine.
Right.
Customers. Most of our customers are from Europe, and one of our biggest customers is from Australia. Actually, he's here today. He's being represented by Mr. Tom Roberts. We have a whole slew of U.S. customers that we are doing work with in California, and that they are going to be expanding into this region. That's one of the reasons we're making this building, is that to support the large life science companies that we do business with.
So mainly in Europe and in Australia?
Today, and that's going to expand to our U.S. customers. We have a lot of interest from the large life science companies in building for the Asian region here in Penang.
Is this you are a US-based company, right?
Yes.
Is this your first facility in Asia?
This is our second. We have a facility currently in Bayan Lepas, and this is our second facility.
Okay, all in one place.
Yes.
In Malaysia.
Yes, it's all.
We don't have it outside of Malaysia.
No, we don't. We've looked at other places, but we decided against that and picked Penang. Actually, when we picked Penang, we looked at sites in many countries. We looked at Vietnam, we looked at India, and we looked at other parts of Malaysia as well, and we picked Penang.
So your first plant in Bayan Lepas, what is that the same thing, or is?
Yes, so the plant that's in Bayan Lepas is doing more sort of industrial goods, high value industrial goods, and this plant is going to be focused on the life sciences and the medical side. Even though we are doing some life science and medical today in our current plant.